It'll try you. This town will frickin' try you. It'll test your integrity. It'll test your discipline. It'll test your courage. It'll test your motivation. It'll test every human character that you have, or characteristic that you have as a person. And it will expose your flaws. It's by design. Las Vegas is designed to expose your weaknesses and your flaws, manipulate and prey upon them. A lot of people think, I'd love to move to Vegas and all this other stuff, but it's not exactly what you think it is, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it's getting so expensive. I mean, if you got your money right, it doesn't really matter. I have my money kind of right, and it's still friggin' expensive. But everything you do here costs. Everything you do. Okay, you want to do this and see this show and do that. You're talking, your entertainment budget to live here in Vegas, you're talking thousands, I mean, if I didn't have to do business here, company expenses and whatnot, I mean, go out to dinner with like 4 people at Bavette's is $1,200 by the time's all said and done, and that'd be like carefully choosing from the menu. You go to a show, you want to go to the Sphere, but then the other thing is, once you've seen something once, it's like, all right, I'm good, been to the Sphere. Oh, but you haven't seen the Sphere when this band was playing. Well, I kind of did, but not, but did, but not. It's different. It's not what people think, People come here and they're just like, oh my God, that's so amazing. There's so much stuff to do all the time. Yeah, I mean, I guess, like I said, if your money's right and you have extraordinarily good self-control about drinking, about, these scammy hoes around here and gambling, yeah, maybe you'll do okay, if you got the money to do it. But, to go out and really enjoy this town at the same level that you did when you were here as a tourist, you better be pulling in a good $200K or better, in order to do that, to live the lifestyle that you have as a tourist and being a local. $200K minimum, because it's just like that. It's just like that. I mean, shit, tonight to have one coffee and park is going to cost me $40. This just to do this live stream, it's like $40. I mean, just to come out, it's going to cost you money. Oh, but then they'll say, well, you get an hour parking because you're a local. What's an hour going to do? By the time you leave your car, come down and go back, it's impossible anyway. But yeah, it's an expensive proposition. You're not going to enjoy this town as a local unless you raking in the decent bucks. The decent bucks. Yeah, and away from the Strip, it's just like any other town except hot and expensive. Rent a 2-bedroom. You want a nice 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in a nice section of town where you're not going to get freaking, offed. $2,500. Like, okay, 22. Well, yeah, 22 to $2,500. That's some major city prices. And 4 years ago it was like $800 for the same exact shit. This town's gone bonkers. Like I was saying earlier, my electric bill, I think hopefully for this month, for the first time, will be under $400. And when I first moved here, it was like $80, and then it became $200, and then it became $250, and in the past, with Bidenomics, well, Kamalanomics now, I paid $460-something last month. Granted, I keep my house cool because I don't like sweating in bed unless I'm knocking boots, but just no. Yeah, I mean, the parking on a Saturday night on the Strip, it's 30, I think it's 32 tonight because Garth freaking Brooks, that freak, is playing here. It's nuts. My freaking taxes have gone through the roof. It's not what you think it is. again, I love living here. Don't get me wrong. I feel very fortunate. I feel lucky. You know, I feel like, wow, I live in the town that millions of people a year just like crave to come to and think about in their dreams, you know? And I'm not jaded or anything, but it has changed so much in the past 4 years. It's, you know, it's just different. It's become excruciatingly expensive, you know? Not like San Diego level, but getting there compared to what it was. Like our gas, I mean, you know that. Follow along. You know, it used to be like $1.49. Now it's almost $4. I paid $3.89. You know, I mean, everything is just, it's getting stupid. And the cost of living here is getting, a fixer-upper, a shithole of a house, you know, that's like 1,400 square foot. On a postage stamp is like $425. A condo that looks like the Golden Girls just moved out is $250. He just left like an inch and a half roach next to me. It's crazy town. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Vegas is awesome. Great. I mean, I would never in a bazillion years raise kids here. I mean, what are you going to teach them about? Hookers? You know? These are the type of hookers to stay away from, little Johnny. I mean, what do you got to convince your daughter not to end up one of these freaking, you know, predatory. I'm not even going to get into it. Let's keep the mood light. But I would never in a million years raise a family. Never. Oh, but there's so much to do. No, there's not. Just stop. You got to go to a freaking casino to go bowling. You know, you gotta walk them past slot machines and hookers to go friggin' bowling. And these people, they just gaslight themselves into thinking, you know, oh, it's the greatest thing ever, you know, to raise your family. Oh, but this town does have a lot of parks. Has a ton of parks. Don't get me wrong. But it's freaking 125 out. What the hell are you gonna do in a park that you can't use 7 months out of the year, you know? In the winter, they're gorgeous. And then no one uses them. Weird. This town's a trip. It's honestly a trip, and I kind of love the trip in the grand scheme of things. I think there's a zoo here, but that's so you go to the zoo once, and I think most of the animals are dead. I think the lion, one or two of the lions, has recently died. You know, so you go to the zoo once, never again, like I did. Go up the Eiffel Tower. Don't have to do that again. Cross out. You can do the whole town in like a month. You know, everything that you could possibly want to do in like 2 or 3 months. And then you're just like, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know. We'll see what's on Netflix. You know? Unless you're like me and you just like hanging out there. Fortunately for me, all right, let me preface for all you new people. I do a lot of business here. I have companies. I have all my crew. The whole corporate world's coming down to see me over here, so it's extraordinarily convenient with all the conventions. I'm like the Las Vegas branch. So, yeah, I mean, they come to me. I don't have to do the traveling that I used to do or none of that anymore. Everyone finds an excuse to come here, do the business and whatever. So, yes, it is awesome for that. But then again, like all your people will be like, oh, you're in Vegas. How about we just crash on your couch? And we'd be like, you know, when was the last time I saw you? 10 years ago? When was the last time I got a, you know, Christmas card from you? 8 years ago? Now you want to freaking hang out at my place instead of spending $400 at Bellagio? No. Living here is different. But you know what? What I find is that people, they don't want to say the truth. If you know anything about me, I don't give a shit. I just don't give a shit. I will tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I just like honesty. Honesty is the best policy. So if it's good, it's good. If it's crap, it's crap. But most people who live here, once they make the move here, a lot of them gaslight themselves. And they're just like, oh, it's the best decision I ever made. And this and that. And oh my God, the people are wonderful. Like they'll just gaslight themselves to reinforce that they made a good decision, because moving, transplanting to this place is completely different. You know, once you're here, honestly, you're kind of trapped. You know, you're just like kind of caught up in the game. It's hard to save money. Like you were in your town in Oklahoma or whatever the case may be, and you saved up money by, you know, mowing lawns, and you move out to Vegas. Money is hard to come by here, you know? It doesn't grow on trees. I mean, the salaries here are horrible. They pay people peanuts in this town. Absolute freaking peanuts. Oh, but we give you benefits. So I can't eat my benefits, you know? I gotta pay my freaking mortgage. But anyway, yeah, so like it's harder to leave because it's harder to save money to get the F out. So a lot of people gaslight themselves. Oh, my kids love it here. No, they don't. What do they love about it? What do they love? They love the casinos? They're 4 years old. What are you talking about? They just gaslight themselves. But we don't want you to move, bro. I'm not, I mean, we're talking, when I do, it's not going to be for years. Like, I do plan on retiring. Like I keep saying, I plan on retiring Christmas Eve of 2030. That is the game plan. By then, that's 6 years. It's not because of age, because I won't be of retirement age then. So it's because I'm going to be a Bitcoin millionaire. You know what Bitcoin's going to be worth in 2030? I mean, I'm all about like the finances and, you know, saving the monies and investing and, you know, all that shit. I trade Bitcoin and whatever. And Bitcoin's going to be, by 2030, somewhere between $1 and $3 million per Bitcoin. And I plan on having like 5 by then. So then I'm going to be like, you know, AMF. I'll probably still do YouTube because it's fun and I'm going to miss you guys or whatever. But as far as like humping around for business, no. Christmas Eve 2030, I am retiring. I am freaking retiring. Just is what it is. Yeah, you do have to look past. Once you've been out here a while, like I have, like I said, you stop looking up where everything's nice and you start looking down, you know, and tripping over needles and stuff. You know, it's a different thing. You know, you see the dirt, you see the vulgarity in different things, you know, once you start living here. And like your perspective changes. Unless you're fortunate enough to, like I said, if you're pulling in, you know, mid-6 figures and money really doesn't matter, you got your money right and whatever, then you can live the life, you know. But still, you're still running the risk of freaking liquidating yourself, you know. Because once you get into it, once you start trying to live the life of a tourist and live here at the same time, it becomes very difficult. Very, very difficult. I mean, it becomes hard. People think they can do it. I got the discipline. I got this. It'll try you. This town will freaking try you. It'll test your integrity. It'll test your discipline. It'll test your courage. It'll test your motivation. It'll test every human character that you have, or characteristic that you have as a person. And it will expose your flaws. It's by design. Las Vegas is designed to expose your weaknesses and your flaws, manipulate and prey upon them. That's just the way this town is designed. So whatever your worst characteristics are, they will get worse here. Whatever your good characteristics are, might go away, or they might maintain, or they might get better. It all depends on you. But it's life cubed or squared. It's a whole different experience, like living the local life and trying to like dual purpose it. I want to get the whole experience, but I still have to live here. Good luck. I mean, it took me years to master it. It took me years to master it, and I ain't a master of it yet. People, making friends out here? You guys are my friends who don't live here. I mean, people here, I barely know the neighbor, I barely know the names of my neighbors, and it's not by choice because I'm an asshole. Just like, why? Can't trust people here. Cannot trust people here. I mean, my friends from out of town, I'd leave them, in my place, or They'd be like, hey, call Uber. I'm just like, dude, I'm crashing. The keys are over in the freaking key thing, on the counter. Just take the car, go. I wouldn't do that with any local here because of the fact that it exposes weaknesses and addictions and whatever. If you smoke, you're going to smoke twice as much here. If you gamble, you're going to go broke. If you whore around, you're going to get your kidney and your freaking Rolex stolen. I mean, it just magnifies whatever your flaws are. I just don't trust the people. Like, would you trust either of them? Right there. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. They're just out here hoping dudes buy them drinks. They didn't even stop at the ATM on the way here. I bet neither of them has a freaking dime to their name, but they'll get free drinks all night and then ditch the dude and say they have to go to the bathroom. It's a different kind of place. It's a different kind of place. You lived here 8 years? Yeah. So right, am I right or am I wrong? So like your discipline, everything about you's just gotta be tight. You make one false move, something bad could happen to you, I mean, when I say bad, I'm not talking about just like financially. Financial ruin could be around the corner, with one stupid decision. It's designed. That's what the town is designed to do. And as tourists, people don't notice that because you're a tourist, but it's still happening to you too. Everything about this place is geared towards, exposing your weaknesses and extracting your cash. I mean, that's the whole game. This town didn't build itself, and I'm not being a dick about it. Yeah, you gotta be. See, that's the other thing. And when you leave this town and go somewhere else, you're a more complete person because it's like living out here is like being through a trial by fire. I mean, you had all the temptation on every level. Pharmaceuticals, women, gambling, drinking, everything, thrown at you. Day after day after day, night after night after night. But locals don't go to the Strip. That's another freaking bullshit story. Yeah, they do. Oh, you mean going to Sam's Town's different? Shut up. Oh, it's not that far a drive, to get a DWI, whatever they call them these days. Anyway, it's a trial by fire. So you learn to get your game on point, Like you have to learn to get immune to the shit. And then, make the best of it. But I have fun when my friends come to town or whatever. We hang out. I don't even drink anymore, for the most part. I live once in a blue moon. I think I had like 4 drinks all year. Something like that. No. I've had 6 drinks all year. And they've all been at Broad Nation related stuff. Other than that, whatever, Because I don't want to drop my guard. I don't want to drop my guard here for a second. I don't want to be that guy. Like those 2 people, they seemed awesome and everything. That kid who was streaming too. Whatever. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the dude in the room who remembers everything. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I hope so. And I ain't a fuddy-duddy. I have freaking fun. I flirt, I party, I do all the stuff, but a party. What the hell's party? Sin City for a reason. Yeah, you can't trust those women out here in Vegas. They're predatory. Hey, you're gonna come out here think you're gonna find a wife or something? Blah. I mean, if you do, let me know. But make sure you got a premium. And check with me. I'll tell you if I seen her on the street. Well, how does that Beastie Boys song goes? Oh, and the cab driver said, I recognize your girlie from the back of her head. That's like 90% of the chicks here in town. Like 99.9. I recognize you, girlie, from the back of her head. Yeah, exactly. Mark Wahlberg. Ooh, he's living the life. Yeah, I would too if I was a millionaire. Oh, okay, I just have a bug up my ass to turn Vegas into the next Hollywood. Like, why? Why, Mr. Wahlberg? I don't trust him. I don't trust people's motivation like that, especially when they ended up on the list. Yeah, there's no more $3.99 breakfast. Remember when like Arizona Charlie's, they had like all you can eat biscuits and gravy for 99 cents, and it was good with big pieces of sausage in there and everything, and all the black pepper. You know, those days are gone. I mean, you can go get a cheap breakfast somewhere for $15. I eat 2 fucking pounds of bacon. I'm good. You know, for that kind of money. You're gonna eat out. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. Unless you're already used to living that lifestyle. Like I said, Vegas will test you. It'll test you on levels that you never even imagined. You'll see shit that you never thought you'd see. You know, you'll fall in love and get your kidneys stolen in this town. I'm gonna jet. I didn't realize what time it was. It's almost 8 o'clock. Holy cow. I got a phone call to make. Otherwise, I'd hang out and talk with this forever. But that's why you gotta follow me. That's why you gotta like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. Gonna be on a sports channel. You know how to do all the tricks. And thank you, everyone who's generous enough to send some super chat activities my way, because that covers the cost of just being out in Vegas, you know? Like, people don't really think about it in terms of that, but my super chat covered me coming out here. You know, now I can take care of the parking and stuff like that. So it's freaking awesome, you know? People supporting on that level means a lot, you know? So yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they get for kidneys these days. I mean, I know what they get for like, and then stolen merchandise in this town, it's everywhere. But half of it's being sold by Metro. Be careful. Anyway, that's the deal. I've been in casino towns my entire life. My entire life, not just Vegas. I've been in a lot of casino towns, and it's all the same. So I love you guys, I miss you guys, and I appreciate everyone doing all the stuff down there. I am going to put out a video tomorrow, and do some live streaming again on Monday. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.
Make sure it sound right, boys.